Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Live, Eat and Heal. If you're new to this channel, a warm welcome to you. My name is Dinah, and I am the author of the book Live, Eat and Heal, the way nature intended. This book is based on my personal journey from sickness to health, how I managed to get rid of the autoimmune disease systemic lupus erythematosus out of my body, and how I managed to release weight from 100 kilos to 69 kilos by just changing my diet and my lifestyle, what I was putting on my table in the kitchen and what was going into my mouth. This is what I'm going to share with you today. My book is available on Amazon as an ebook and as a paper book. Today, I want to share with you why going on a low carbohydrate changed my life completely. One, carbohydrates. Yes, the body needs carbohydrates and they are good for the body. But an excess of carbohydrates is what actually starts all disease, obesity, overweight, diabetes, autoimmune disease. I can speak for myself. This is what happened to me. And it was when I went on a low carbohydrate diet, everything changed. Inflammation was down to zero and weight started shaking off effortlessly. So why do you lose weight and how does inflammation disappear when you're on a low carbohydrate diet? I've been preaching this before, but I'll keep preaching again, singing the same song. It's all about the hormone insulin, the anabolic hormone insulin. Those who've been following me, anabolic means building. So insulin is an anabolic hormone, which means it's involved in building. I'm not going to go into detail how exactly what happens, insulin does this to the cells and this happens, but all I'm just going to keep it very simple so that it doesn't complicate, so it's easy for you to understand. So what happens is if you eat a diet which is high in carbohydrates, your glucose levels go up. Carbohydrates are converted into glucose once they're in the bloodstream. So once that happens, insulin is then released from the pancreas so that it can facilitate the process in the body. And this is when your glucose is then converted into glycogen in the liver and later on into lipids. So it's a process. And once that is happening, there's a lot of storage that is going on and there's a lot of building that is going on. So with that scenario, you'll keep putting on weight and you wonder why you're putting on weight. It's because there's so much building, and there's so much storage. And for you to release weight, what you need is to tap into the reserves. I can give you an example of a refrigerator and a freezer. If you have food in the fridge all the time, there is no way you are going to be checking in your freezer. But it's only when your refrigerator is empty, that's when you actually go into the reserves, which is your freezer, and you start defrosting that. So if you want to lose weight, you want to go deep into the deep freeze. So you start defrosting what is there to use that for energy. And this is why people never get to lose weight, because as long as you are eating more carbohydrates, you're going to be storing more and you're going to be hungry, because the hypothalamus, as long as there is storage, it perceives that as hunger, and for survival, you feel hungry again, there's nothing to use for energy, and you keep eating and you keep eating, and you've got these hunger pains, these cravings that are endless, and you keep eating and eating, and you're building and building. So the cycle goes on and on and on. So in a day, that cycle can be repeated 5 times. So you eat a diet which is high in carbohydrates, converted to glucose, insulin is released, converted to glycogen in the liver, and then into lipids, then there's building, then there's storage. The hypothalamus perceives that is hunger and starvation, and there's nothing to use for energy. Ghrelin, which is your hormone for hunger, is released, and you feel hungry again, and then you go in again, you stretch for that cookie, and then you eat, and then you feel hungry again, and you wonder why that is happening. So it's only when you eat a diet which is low in carbohydrates, then insulin is tamed. Then you do not then release high levels of insulin into the bloodstream. So what are foods which are low in carbohydrates? So you're looking at having things like your broccoli, that's very low in carbohydrates. It's got a low carbohydrate index. Your cauliflower, that's got a low carbohydrate index, your cabbage, all your green leafy vegetables, your green beans, your peas. There's so many of them there with very low carbohydrate index. And when you eat those, combine them with your protein and some healthy animal fats, then you've got a diet which is then promoting healing for you. Because then as long as insulin is low, inflammation is going to come down. You're going to stop the building and the storage process. And when you do that, you tap into your reserves, and your reserves are obviously the fatty stores. And by doing that, then you'll use that for energy, and then there's tissue repair, there's cell repair. So much happens, and it's something which is worth doing. To me, it changed my life. It changed everything. I felt so much better in myself, and I still do now. After 10 years of being riddled with autoimmune disease, I ended up in hospital with major operations and always in pain all the time, and nothing would help me. Painkillers or any medication just alleviated symptoms for a little while, and they would come back again. But since I changed my diet and lifestyle, now that I'm on this low carbohydrate diet, I do not know what pain is. The first time I got healed, I woke up looking for pain, which is what I'm advocating for you, that try it out. You can only try it out. Don't guess it, don't judge it, just try it out. I know everybody now, we all go onto a high carbohydrate diet, and it does appear normal. I mean, it does appear common because everybody is doing it, but common is not normal. There's a difference between common and normal. So you just try this low carbohydrate diet and see what happens. If it doesn't work, then you can say, oh, I've tried it and it hasn't worked. But trust me, you will get the results you want, especially if you suffer from autoimmune disease, from metabolic disease, if you're trying to lose weight, if you are obese. This is something which can actually make wonders to your life. It is good to wake up in the morning feeling good in yourself, full of energy, full of life, not waking up in the morning thinking, how am I going to go through the day today? I do run a 60-day program where I do assist people in transitioning into a low carbohydrate, which foods they should eat, which foods they shouldn't be eating. You can check my website. The link is just down. Just click on it and it will take you straight to my website where there's more information about what happens on this 60-day program, where you get all the support about transitioning into a low carb diet. And in doing so, you'll release weight, you'll heal from autoimmune disease and metabolic disease. If you haven't signed up, please click the button below so you'll get notifications as soon as I post a new video. So remember to eat well, to live well.